Hello, welcome back to the channel. Nigel here with you, Nigel's on the bench. Welcome back to pack 77 now. I think we're going to look at pack 78 in this one as well. So in pack 77 we actually had the parts for the fourth propeller, which as you can see I've already built up. You can go back and see how to put them together in various other videos. So that's all gone together. So as usual we'll look at the magazine, and we've got here the Boston. So the A20, I should get mine back on the bench and finish it, shouldn't I? The Douglas Boston, or Havoc light bomber, served with the Air Forces of France, Great Britain, the United States and the Soviet Union. It was a very, very popular aircraft. So here's the A20G. That was the most popular one. It's saying there the largest production run, 2,850 being built. So very strange configuration. You know, the pilot had to climb up here on the back of the wing and then walk along the top of the fuselage and drop down into the cockpit. So no other access for him at all. And then you got all the guns in those. There's also glass in those versions. So there we go. So is that it for this one? Yeah. Usually we have two subjects, but it's just the one. So there we are. So you can see coming in issue 78, we've got a wing. So there's probably a lot of work to do on this one. So we've got the port wing frame, circuit board lights and assorted screws. So here is pack 78 here, and as you can see it's a bigger than normal package, obviously because of the wing. So we'll get this open, just like so. Get that open, we'll get the magazine out, get the parts out, and we'll have a good old look at them in a minute. But first of all we'll have a look at the magazine as we always do. So pack 78, you can see we've got the port wing frame. Finally, we're getting away from bloody engines. So we're going to be fitting the main undercarriage bay and number 2 engine, sorry, into the onto the wing. So that's going to be held in there with screws. And then we're going to be fitting the number 1 engine, which we've just finished in the last part. I'm going to fit that with screws, and then we're going to put some lights in and some wiring, and that's all going to go through like that. So just showing you how it all goes like this. So plenty to do in here. Fighter escorts. So there we've got a beautiful P-47, one of my favourite aircraft, and then here we've got some P-51s escorting a B-29. I said B-25 then, what am I thinking? So yeah, very, very nice. There we go. Again, we've only got the one subject, and then in pack 79 we're going to be getting these strips and everything, which are stiffeners for the wings. So that's nice. Right, so let's have a look at what we've got in here. So we've got, this is pack 78. So there's the actual wing section itself. We've got loads of screws, and we've got a circuit board with some wiring. So let's get this magazine out of the way. So come over the page, and what we're going to do, we're going to take this wing and we're going to put it that way up. No, we're not. We're going to put it that way up. No, we're going to put it that way. Yeah, the engine's got to go in from the bottom. So here's our port wing, or port engine, should I say. So I'll make sure these wires are up out the way. So they're going to come up through there. This is going to slot into there. And these wires are going to come up through that slot there. I'm just looking at this. Should those wires come out in front of? Yeah, those wires are going to come in front of that, not through it. So they're going to be like that. Right, there we go, so that's better. Okay, and then we're going to turn this over on the wrong page here. Oh, come on. So I'm going to turn this over. They've covered 2 whole pages on doing that and putting 6 screws in. You can save a lot of paper. So these are the BP screws, so they're plastic. So we're going to take 6 of these. So 1, it's going to go into there like so. Doesn't want to screw in, that one. Bigger screwdriver, that one, it's not gripping those screws so well. That's better. Okay. So get those 6 screws in. I can see you all now fast forwarding on your keyboard. You know, on your keyboard, if you press the forward arrow, it will skip the video 5 seconds. So just keep pressing it. That's what I do when I watch Talk TV on replay, to get through their constant, repetitive, bloody features about upcoming programs and all that garbage. I just keep pressing the forward button, and gets you through all that rubbish. Okay, so we're also going to put 4 BP screws into here as well. So we got one in there. I don't think I can do anything about these undercarriage door hinges, but as you can see, they're a bit of a joke. What I'm looking forward to is when we come to the machine guns, when everybody discovers that there's no holes in their guns. And, I wrote to them about it, emailed them about it, and they said, can you please send a photograph? I said, why do I need to send a photograph? I'll make a bloody video for you. Didn't hear anything back, so... Right. Those doors are such a pain. They really do need to sort them out. It's just ridiculous, isn't it? Right. So that's that in there. So we've got the 4 screws in there, the 6 screws in there. And then we're going to turn this around like this, and we are going to take our outboard engine and we're going to drop this down on, and that wire is going to go. Is that wire going? How's that wire going to go? That's just going to sit in front of that sort of front spar there. So this is going to drop down in right like that. Okay, so we've got 3 pegs here and then 4 here. So that's just going to drop in like that. Make sure the back one's gone in. The back end's got to go down into that recess. It's like it doesn't line up. They don't line up. The distance between these is wrong. If I put it so that those front ones go in, the back one is a mile out. Okay, you just have to force it. It's gone. Right, so now we are going to use 4 BP screws, plastic ones, to secure this outboard engine to the wing. like that. Okay, and then we're going to turn it over and we're going to use 3 FM screws. So these are metal, so I would normally be tapping, but today I cannot be bothered. We'll see if we can get away without tapping the threads. Yeah, they're going in quite easily. Screw kicked around. I think this is a bit overkill to hold this engine on, to be honest. And then finally put this one in. So we've got 10 screws holding the inboard engine on and 7 screws, 3 of them being into metal, holding the outboard engine on. There we go. So that's all fitted. And then we are going to put this wire up there, through there, along there, around the front, into that gap there, and then up, and then out there. Right, and then these are also going to go into there. They're going to push down grab my tweezers so I can push those wires down in. By the very nature of the slot, it kind of holds the wires in place, which is handy. And then they can come out here like so. Alright, and then, oops, I've pulled that one out of there. There we go. So when we come to fit the wing skins, we'll make sure they're all securely down then so they don't go trapping anything. And then we're going to come over the page, just like so, and take our circuit board, which is basically 2 LEDs. Okay, so that's going to go in here with the LEDs facing down. The wires are going to come over to the side, and then we're going to grab 2 BP screws and screw this into place. So that's for our landing lights. Okay, and then that cable is going to come along here, and you can see there's some cutouts in the spars, and then this one is also going to go around the front, down in the gap, push that down in. There we go. It doesn't want to stay in that one, it's a thinner wire. What I could perhaps do is take these out and put this one underneath, and that way those other wires will hold this thinner wire in. down over the top. Oops. Push that down in there. Do the same with that one. And then those fatter wires will hold the thinner wires in. Just like that. There we go. So that's that. That's our pack 78 done. So pack 79, we've got the stiffeners which are going to go in. So see you back in about a month's time for that one as that plenum chamber come out. I could just sit in there like that. There we go. Okay, so I'll see you all then. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next month, or the end of this month probably, for pack 79. Bye for now.